In this video, we'll be looking at how to find the surface area and volume of a pyramid. So the process is going to be very similar to when we found the surface area and volume of a prism, but now we're just changing over to a pyramid. So think of a pyramid as the temples that you find in ancient Egypt, where they have the triangular sides, they're square at the bottom, but there's four triangles that come to a point at the top. So we're going to need these supplies. So you can pause right here and go gather all your supplies. We'll have your two pieces of lined paper. We'll have our one pyramid worksheet. We're going to do the square base pyramid, so kind of like your standard Egyptian pyramid. We'll have one pair of scissors, we might have to share. We'll have our colored pencils, our ruler, one regular writing utensil, and then we'll need some tape. And some tape to help us close up the pyramid. So make sure you have all these supplies, and then we'll begin. Okay, the first thing we'll do is put our heading and our title for the assignments on both pieces of paper. So here's my two pieces of paper. I'm going to put my heading on both. And for one, we'll do pyramid notes. And for the other, we'll do pyramid assignments. Okay, so we're going to put our assignment page to the side for now and start with the notes, and then we'll be going back and forth, so have everything ready to go. Okay, so our first step will be to label each side. So we're going to label each side of our pyramid. So we're finding surface area, so let's give a title to this section. Surface area. And step one is label each shape with a number. And again, this is for organizational purposes, so that we can find, so we can keep track of which shape we're working on. So I'm going to take my pyramid, I'm going to label each shape with a number. So we'll give the number 1 to my top triangle, then I have triangle number 2, square will be 3, triangle 4, and then triangle 5. Step 2 will be to measure in centimeters. So we're going to measure in centimeters. For each rectangle or square, measure length and width. For each triangle, measure base and height. So remember, you can pause at any time to catch up on the writing, or if you just need to, so anytime you need to catch up, just pause and get caught up, and then continue, then you can continue onward. So now we're going to measure for the rectangles or squares the length and width, and for our triangles base and height. So let's start with shape 1. I'm going to measure my base using centimeters. So I use a side that's centimeters. I'm going to measure my base, which looks to be about 4.6. Now if we don't get the same measurements, that's fine. They just have to be close to each other. But we're not always going to get the same exact measurements, but they should be close. So if you got 4.7, that's fine. But if you're getting something like 10 centimeters, that's way off. So we got to make sure that we're at least close to one another. So now I'm going to measure the height. So the height of my triangle looks to be about 4.5 centimeters. So we'll do that for each shape. We'll measure the base and height for each triangle, and then we'll measure the the length and the width for the square. So go ahead and pause right here and get those measurements for all 4 shapes that we still have remaining. Okay, now we have the measurements of all the shapes of our pyramid. So now we will move on to finding the area of each shape. So let's go back to our notes page. Our next step will be to find the area, step 3. Find the area of each shape. So now we'll remember rectangles / squares area is equal to length times width, and for our triangle, area of a triangle is equal to base times height divided by 2. So I'm going to pause right here if you need to catch up on writing. So now we're going to go to our assignment page, and we'll use the lengths we found, the dimensions we found, to fill in that. So we'll use the base and the height of our triangles to plug into our formulas to find the area of the triangle, and we'll use our length and our width of our square to find the area of our square. So let's go ahead and go to our assignment. And we're talking about surface area. And again, this is why we numbered our sides so we could keep track of what we're doing. So side 1, and we'll find the area of that triangle is base times height divided by 2. Then we'll plug in our numbers. 4.6 times 4.5, and then we'll divide that by 2. We'll let our calculator do the heavy lifting. So I'm doing 4.6 times 4.5, then divide that by 2, and I get 10.35 centimeters squared. So now we're going to find the area of all 5 of the sides. So go through all 5 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, the way we labeled them, and find the area of each one of those shapes. So pause right here and find those areas. Now we have the area of each of our sides, and we're ready to find the surface area, the total surface area. So let's go back to our notes. Step 4 is add up all the areas. So we'll add up all 5 areas, and this is the surface area. So we'll go back to our assignment page and we'll add up all 5 of those areas. So take all 5 of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then add them together, and that total will be your surface area. So pause right here and do that. So I've added up all 5 of my areas to get the surface area, and I found that mine was 65.56 centimeters squared. Okay, now it's time to color, so let's put a break in our assignment, and the next thing we'll be doing is volume. But on our notes page, it's time to color, so we can put our break, color, shapes, put a break, and the next thing we'll do is volume. So go ahead and pause right here, finish copying this information, and then go and color, get some color on your pyramid. I'm going to be using red and orange. Okay, now that we have our prism colored, we're ready to move on to volume. So let's go back to our notes page and start taking notes on the volume portion of the pyramids. So what we're going to do is we will cut out the pyramid along the outside solid black lines. So we're going to cut out the pyramid along the outside solid black lines. We're not going to cut across the dash lines, and we're going to make sure we stay on the outside of the pyramid. So we're going to cut along the outside and be cutting on the solid lines. So we don't care about the dash lines, so we'll cut like that. Oops. Like so. So then our goal is to cut along all the outside until we have our pyramid cut out. So please pause right here and cut out your pyramid. Okay, now we have our pyramid all cut out, and we're ready to fold it so that it'll close up like a pyramid. So that's going to be our next step is to fold along the black lines. Make sure when you fold, you keep those colors on the outside, so that we'll have a colorful pyramid and not a white pyramid. So you want to fold so that you're folding the colors inward like so, and we'll do that along all 4 sides. So you can pause right here to do this. We're just folding all 4 sides in like that. Okay. Now we'll do our very best to tape it closed. So we'll tape the 2 edges of each triangle together, like right there, like so. So that'll be our next step. Tape pyramid closed. So I'm going to take my pyramid, tape it closed. Just do the best you can. Remember, this isn't perfect, but try to get those as close as possible so you can tape it closed like that. And we'll do that to all the edges where the triangles meet. So that we have 1, 2, 3 more to go. So pause right here and tape this pyramid closed. So now that we have it taped closed, we have a pyramid that looks something like this, where there's the bottom of my pyramid, and that's the side it's going to rest on. So we're calling that the base of our pyramid, and all those sides come together and they form a point at the top of the pyramid, like so. Okay, so now what we're going to do is find the volume, now that we have it closed. So the first thing we want to do is find the area of the base. So step 4. Find the area of the base. And how we'll do that is we'll just find the area of that square that it's resting on. So whatever side it's resting on, where the point's sticking up, we're going to call that the base, and we'll find the area of the square, which is length times width. So we'll do 4.6 times 4.6. So find that area on your assignment. So on the assignment, I'll go to volume, and I'll write base area. Area of a rectangle is equal to length times width, and then mine is 4.6 times 4.6, which equals 21.16. And since this is area, remember our units are centimeters squared. Squared those units because we're finding area. Next, we'll need to find the height of the pyramid. This is the tough part about the pyramid. This is a new measurement. We can't use any of our old measurements. So how this works is the height of the pyramid is if we keep our ruler like so. We don't this is not the height of the pyramid. So we can't have our pyramid, our ruler leaning on our pyramid. We need to keep it straight up and down like this. So the best way to do that is to put your pyramid flat on the ground, and you'll put your ruler flat next to your pyramid like so. So it's kind of flat, standing straight up from the desk, and you'll have to kind of lean down and look at it, and we're just going to try to get as close as possible. When I look at it, it looks like it's about 4 centimeters. So we're just going to try to take our very best guess. So we're just standing that ruler straight up and then kind of eyeballing it to see where is it closest to, and for me it looks like the height is 4 centimeters. So I'm going to call the height 4 centimeters. Now the volume of our pyramid, 6, volume of a pyramid equals base area times height. And then we have this wrinkle in there where we divide by 3. So you take the base area, times it by the height, and then divide by 3. So V equals area times height divided by 3. Like that. So let's do that to figure, so pause right here if you need to catch up on any of the writing, and then we're going to go to our assignment and look at that. Okay, so let's go to our assignment, and we will copy our volume formula from our notes. Volume equals the area times the height, and then we divide that by 3. And it's just always divided by 3 when we're talking about pyramids. That's just the way the formula works. So we'll plug in our numbers. So volume is equal to my area, 21.16, times my height, 4, and then I'll divide that after multiplying by 3. So I'm going to go 21.16 times 4 divided by 3, and I'll get my area. Let's just round to one decimal place, so we'll call it 28.2, the 1 keeping that 2 the same. So we'll say 28.2, and since it's volume, what's our units going to be? Centimeters to the third power. So centimeters cubed is how we can say that. Like that. And now we found the volume of our pyramid. So our last step for this will be to tape our pyramid to our assignment, so we have proof that we made it, so we can get credit for it. So I'm going to tape my pyramid to my assignment. You only really need to tape two sides down, so I've already put the tape on my pyramid. That way I can just rest it in this space and then push my tape down, and then boom, it's taped. So this is our final assignment. What we're turning in, we have our surface area that we found our volume, and then we taped the pyramid that we created to the assignment. Well, thank you for watching this video. I hope it was informative and helpful in helping you find surface area and volume and creating your own pyramid. I hope you have a great rest of your day.